All right, we have Farm Raise's very own Isabelle with us today. Isabelle, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I am doing very well. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us about how your family chose its farm entity. But first, can you share a little bit about your family farm? What kind of things do you guys do on the farm?
Yeah, so we have a corn, soybean, grain sorghum farm in Nebraska. And with that, we have um, GMO, corn, soybeans, grain sorghum, all the way to organic food grade grain sorghum. And then we also raised hogs, farrow to finish, for about 20 years. And then we also have about 40 cow calf pairs. So we're very diversified. And even though we have, pretty traditional corn, soybeans, and grain sorghum, we they are kind of specialty since they are food grade, and we do have some certified organic acres.
Wow, that's incredible. You guys are doing a lot, and I love to hear it. So your father started the farm, correct?
Actually, no.
Oh,
So, my great grandpa actually started the farm. So my grandpa was one of eight siblings on the family farm and started in 1918. And then it got passed down to my grandpa, and then it got passed down to my dad. So now my dad is the sole operator of the farm, and then it'll get passed down to me and my sister.
amazing. So what business entity type is the farm currently?
So the farm is currently a sole proprietorship, and so it was set up that way because my grandpa was the sole proprietor of the farm. There, he had no other business partners, and so it didn't really make sense to set it up as an LLC or an S corp, and he was the only one running it. And so then when it got passed down to my dad, when my dad moved back to the farm. That is how he continued to run it because he doesn't have any business partners. And so that is why it's a sole proprietorship right now. Um, and it will probably stay that way unless there's some changes. Um,
Okay, okay. Thank you so much for sharing that, and that's so cool. What a rich history. And it's amazing that you're going to be able to continue that on. So, do you know if your father currently, or anyone in your family are they happy with the sole proprietorship option? Has there been conversation about changing it, or what does that look like?
Yeah, I definitely think that there's positives and negatives to the sole proprietorship. Definitely, there's less protections if there were to be like an accident or something, and we would be sued or something like that. But in terms of how like tax filings and everything go, it's much simpler,
Mhm.
and everything is pretty easy in terms of if we're happy with the choice. I would definitely say that we're happy with it right now. If like my husband and I were to come back, we might change it to like an LLC so we could all farm together. Um, but that's not something that we're looking to change at this time. So
Yeah.
I think we're pretty set in the sole proprietorship option, makes it pretty easy for taxes. And it has been pretty successful for us for the last 100 and so years.
Yeah.
So
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. I think this is really helpful for people to see and understand why you chose that option and how it's working for you. So thanks so much for your time, Isabel.
yeah, thanks, Taylor.